Morning, folks. I see, but quite a busy waiting room this morning. Um, Quite a few years in. We'll have a wee look, shall we? We'll get Eddie, we'll get June, we'll get Desiree, Stephen Bankier, John Baxter, Peter M, Mark Telfer. Who else we got? I think I've seen Barbara Lansborough in there. June Dalrymple's in. Up we go again. Scott Hayes, Eddie, Peter M, and good morning, Reagan Elite. How are we today? Folks, Reagan Elite's channel. It's just changed its name from the Snowflake channel to Reagan Elite. Get a view, folks. Get a like, get a subscribe. Alright? Who else we got in? I think I seen James Connolly in this morning, the last Bravehearts in. And of course, the other Davies in. He started his off this morning with a £20 super chat. Thank you very much, David. Who else is in? I think Wee Bird's in. Robert McInnes is in. Aye, Wee Bird's there. Hi, Rosie. And that's me back up with Tart. Let's get back in. And we'll say enough hello to enough people. Busy day in front of me, folks. But there's not much to talk about in the paper, really. There's only one subject in the papers today. So there is. I'd like to say it's an interesting subject, but it's no. But what I had to say made me laugh. Alright, so let's get this one underway. Indy Truck Davy out the truck and at home in his office in Salisbury, North Lanarkshire, where he is always these days, where it is not a bad morning. Mainly cloudy, 16 degrees, high today will be 20, and the pollen count is high, main allergen is grass. No rain in the forecast. That's how it is here in Salisbury, North Lanarkshire this morning, if you want to know what it's like where you are. Look at your own bloody windy. Right, first up this morning, folks, we've got the Rancid. And as you know, we don't put the Rancid record up. And it says Trump weighs in on independence. Wait 50 years for IndyRef 2. US President insists vote should be in distant future. He urges Scots to drill more oil and halt wind farms. But the golf fan is filmed breaking rules on his course. In other words, he was seen cheating at his own game. As for the 50 years thing, not really interested in what Trump's got to fucking say. And quite the contrary, actually. It would appear that John is actually stepping it up a bit. But we'll get a wee bit more of that as we go through. Alright, next up, the Express. Let's see what the Looney Rags got for us this morning, shall we? No, that ain't it. Let's try the other end. That ain't it either. Wonderful. We're off to a cracking start of the day. Here we go. The Express. President's wish list for UK. It's no to IndyRef 2. Get rid of wind farms. Cut illegal migration. I don't know what it is with this guy in wind farms. His golf course has been fucking powered by wind farm. Glasgow's powered by the whole of fucking Scotland's residential power comes from wind farms. And this fucking idiot's trying to claim they don't work. Oofed. 100% of your domestic needs are met by wind power. And this idiot wants us to stop and start burning fossil fuels again. Balloon ball. Right, take that down. Next up, we have a Daily Mail. We'll get it up. Here we go. Trump warning over new vote on independence. President signals no referendum for at least 50 years. Hours after Swinney unveils yet another plan to break up the union. Doesn't really matter very much what Trump's going to say. President signals no referendum. President signals fuck all. The big orange man baby will not be around much longer. You know. But, you know, it was interesting. Break up a new plan to break up the union. What fucking union? What union? In a union, equal partners have a voice. In this fucking union, nobody has a voice. No England, no Scotland, no Wales, no Northern Ireland. The only place that's got a voice is fucking the criminal cabal we call Westminster. The English people don't even have a fucking say. They don't even get what they vote for. They voted for change and get married the fucking same. And the same thing will happen with Farage. The establishment knows that the established parties were collapsing. So Farage has been hand fucking picked to replace them. Wow. Union. There's not even any democracy in the fucking British Isles, never mind the union. Oofed. Yeah, the next up we've got the scum. And that's another one we don't cut up. What's the scum go for us a day? Make Scotland great again, says idiot, fat, orange, senile old twit who is wrecking America at home and its reputation abroad. Who gives a shit what that idiot says? Make Scotland great again. Fuck, he's wrecking his own country. America's a shithole and getting worse. Land of the free. Land of the free. They can't even have a fucking drink outside in their gardens. Everybody's shite scared they're going to get shot. Land of the free, my arse. Oofed. Make Scotland great again. What a fucking spanner. See, one thing though, Trump got about an education yesterday. It was quite clear he didn't know that everything in Scotland was dictated by Westminster. And we'll get to that. Alright, next up we've got the Scotsman. What's the Scotsman go? I want to see Scotland thrive, says Trump amid tariff hope. Was this fucking paper no paying attention yesterday? When Trump told Starmer straight, he's no changing the tariff regime. The tariff regime put in place with the so-called deal with Starmer will stay. Now, the tariff on whiskey is there for a very specific reason, folks. And it's very high in America for a very specific reason. And that's because the American whiskey industry, bourbon, whatever you want to call it, would collapse if he takes down the price of importing Scotch whiskey. Why would the American whiskey industry collapse? Because who would buy that piss if you could get a decent bottle of Scotch at a decent price? So, there's no fucking hope for the whiskey industry. Because he doesn't want the indigenous whiskey industry in America to collapse. Remember, he's an America First guy. America First, remember that. Nonsense. He wants to see Scotland thrive, says Trump amid tariff hope. No fucking hope. None. And he made it clear to Starmer yesterday, I'm not changing the terms and conditions we've already agreed on. Starmer was up there hoping to change the terms and conditions. He's got better terms and conditions already than Europe. But the Americans don't buy much for us and we don't buy much for them. Ugh, nonsense. Real nonsense. Get rid of that. Should be the Herald next because they normally follow each other. Yep. And I don't know what the script of the Herald is today. It's very, very poor quality. And I mean the print. The Herald. Starmer says stays straight face as president gets talkative. And that's about Trump rambling yesterday in all directions and on all sorts of subjects. Honestly. Aye, Sir Larry. Hey, Mr. Shifty McGifty must have loved seeing his daddy Starmer getting a lift from the orange jobby in Air Force One. Larry, mind me not getting the wrong side of you, sir. But anyway, what does the Herald say? As I say, Starmer stays straight faced. He had to interject a couple of times, so he did, but we'll get to that. I mean, when they were talking about London Mayor, Starmer had to tell him, as Trump was saying that London Mayor was a nasty man, Starmer had to break in and say, that's my pal. That's my friend. But there was something else that Starmer had to cut in on him on, because there's something that Donald fundamentally didn't understand. Now, we'll take that down, get rid of it, and we'll move on to the next piece of nonsense, which appears to be the Metro, so let's get it up. Shall we? The Metro. Okay. President tells of great love for country. Trump vows Scotland will thrive. Aye, we know. Because we don't have you as our fucking leader. You half-wit. And even though Starmer's involved in Scotland, we sort of bypass him. We'll get fucking by him and all. Trump vows Scotland will thrive. We will thrive. We'll thrive because we don't have this fucking idiot wrecking our economy the way he is the American economy. We don't have this fucking idiot wrecking our international relations and international reputation the way he's doing with America. But some of the stuff that comes out in the papers this morning with this fucking idiot is just outrageous. Trump vows Scotland will thrive. We know. Everywhere will thrive except for England and fucking America. Because that's where the two half-wits are running the places. Wow. Take that down. Next up we have the eye. And we might be going through the end now we are. Here we go. You can't fake that starvation. Trump and UK send new Gaza warning to Israel. Trump and fucking Starmer were playing a lip service to this to appease their audiences. Trump can stop this with one phone call. One call. Fucking chuck it, baby, or I'll cut you off and leave you to the fucking Arabs. One call. That's all it would take. But that's not what he did. Yesterday on the BBC, here in Scotland, when being asked about the situation in Gaza, Trump said the situation had changed. They were down to the last 20 hostages, plus some dead bodies, and they weren't honing them out because that was their shield. That was Hamas's shield. So he's told Bibi to do things differently. Did he tell me stop? Tell me to do things differently. And when the BBC presenter asked what that meant, Trump said he meant end it. And that didn't mean stop either. That meant just fucking wipe the rest of them out and be done with it. That's exactly what Trump says. So this nonsense in this paper here, because I fucking listened to it in the car yesterday. I heard the interview my fucking self. And it wasn't about helping the Gazans. It was about the final solution. Wipe them out. He was giving Bibi the go-ahead to wipe them fucking out. So that headline is a nonsense. And Starmer and Trump could have stopped Israel at any fucking time. Starmer could have cut off the F-35 parts. And Trump could have just picked up the phone and said, fucking stop now. Or we'll throw you to the Arabs. That's all we detain. These two fucks are complicit. And they are actually, when they talk about peace in Gaza, they're talking about what pieces they're going to get when the people have been fucking wiped out. This nonsense annoys me. This really annoys me. We all have the evidence of our own eyes, and we'll get this nonsense in the fucking papers. Sorry, that nonsense in the papers. That really annoys me. No, it's fucking nonsense. You need to excuse me, I compose myself. I'm raging at that headline. I listened to his fucking interview here in Scotland yesterday. I know exactly what he said. I know exactly what he said. I listened to it. I was horrified. The blood froze in my veins on my way up the Airbills Road in Motherwell. Right, composed. Let's move on. Next up should be the Times. The Times has Trump cut taxes to beat Farage. Well, cutting taxes is what Farage and Trump are all about, and that's not what Rachel for Accounts is going to do. She's no choice, she'll need to put the taxes up. But as to beat Farage, that one, Farage will not like hearing that. Huh? His big orange buddy telling him, I'll help Labour beat you. Wow. Cut taxes to beat Farage. Public services already on their arses. How could we cut taxes? Tells you how economically illiterate the big orange man baby is. Next up should be the Telegraph. The Times and the Telegraph normally follow each other. The Telegraph. Gets interesting when we get to the Metro. The National. Trump cut taxes and stopped the votes. There isn't much to say about that. The guy's a fucking economic illiterate. And apparently Starmer prepares to unveil plans for recognising Palestinian state. No, he fucking Disney. No, he Disney. He'll come up with some fucking lip service saying if Palestine do this and Israel do that, he'll recognise a Palestinian state. That's fucking all he's going to do. He'll do whatever he's told by the Israel lobby. Because he's a Zionist twat. He's also a fascist twat. And a religious bigot. Right. The National. Interesting headlines in the National. We'll put it up. Then we'll pick me up and all. Till we get through this. Israel Human Rights Group, genocide happening in Gaza. This is an Israeli human rights group who are clearly stating that there's a genocide happening in Gaza and that aid deliveries a drop in the ocean, UN chief says. Hi Heather, thank you very much, my dear. Fans character dressed as cheerleader jumping in the air. Thank you so much, Heather. Thank you. These are all great, generous people. And today, when I get back to Motherwell, I'll set about the difficult task of trying to contact food banks in East Lothian. I don't know how many there's going to be. East Lothian's a very wealthy area, but I'm sure there are pockets of deprivation. And because next time round we're going to the borders, I might actually be going to and contribute to a food bank in an English city for the first time. Because half that English city is in a Scottish postcode. But we'll talk about that nearer the time. I reckon getting the money out the door this time is going to be quite difficult because it's East Lothian, it's quite an affluent area, but I'm sure there will be pockets of deprivation. So we'll probably find the three food banks to give money. Okay. Right, the National. Swinney to seek SNP backing for immediate Indy convention. Okay. Motion to be put to members of party conference and move to marshal support for Scotland's right to decide. Now that's the interesting thing about the way that's worded, folks, because John's trying to back the unionists into a corner with this convention. Because it's no about whether you want to leave the union or whether you want to stay in the union. It's about the right to choose. And the one thing we all agree on in Scotland, whether we want to stay in the union or whether we want to leave the union, we all agree that it's our decision, our right to choose. And what John's going to do is he's going to put the unionists on the spot with this constitutional convention, because he's going to have them agree that it's our right to choose, and that's going to put pressure on Starmer. When the Labour Party, the Tory Party, the Lib Dems, and the Greens and civil society turn around and tell Starmer, it's your fucking right to choose. Right. And doing the voting there, this is the interesting one. Starmer cut off Trump over Scotland trade deal. Now, Trump was about to offer Scotland a great trade deal, apparently, because he loves Scotland, apparently, and he wants to see Scotland prosper, apparently. But he got a rude awakening from Mr. Starmer when Mr. Starmer had to tell him, you can't do a trade deal with Scotland. You can only do a trade deal with us. You can't give preferential treatment to Scotland or the rest of the UK, because we control Scotland's economy. Don't think Trump knew that. Don't think Trump knew that at all. I don't think Trump knows that all our taxes are sucked into Westminster, including the English people's, where Maestick is fucking frittered away on stupidness. But Donny, in his ramblings yesterday, was about to offer Scotland a trade deal, and Starmer had to intervene and make it clear to him Scotland doesn't get trade deals. Scotland doesn't get to negotiate trade. So as I say, I think Starmer got a bit of, I think Trump got a bit of surprise yesterday. I don't think he understood how this union's no union at all. It's a totalitarian state where England, Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland are subject to this body called the state, which is independently as all, and operates to protect itself and its power, privilege, and patronage. People have to understand that the state itself is a living being which operates autonomously above us all. The theatre we see in Westminster each day is just fucking theatre. Right, let's take that down. It's not as if the people of England would like it, would mind us making a democratic decision to leave the Union. That's the state that's frightened of that. That's not the people of England. That's not the people of Wales. That's not the people of Northern Ireland. They're all Democrats. They all believe in the right to choose for themselves as well as for us. What they don't understand is the state is a living being of its own, and we're its puppets. We're its social experiment, Scotland, England, Wales, and Northern Ireland. Right, next up, we have The Guardian. What nonsense is this English rag wrote for his day? Because I don't even know why it's in the Scottish paper review. I really don't. There's never a Scotland-centric story in it. Fucking waste of print paper, this one. Trump urges Israel to let food aid into Gaza to tackle real starvation. Folks, as I said with the eye, this is bollocks. This is lip service to try and appease angry citizens in America and here on these islands when it comes to Starmer. Trump could stop this with a single phone call. And that's why that headline is nonsense. It's nonsense. And this one makes me angry, especially after listening to Trump's interview yesterday, where he told us live on BBC Radio Scotland that he'd tell Bibi to finish it. No, end it, finish it. Trump wants his Riviera on the Mediterranean or whatever the fuck that is he wants to do. What he wants is to expand US territory. That's what the Canada-Greenland nonsense is all about as well. Expansionism. But that headline, folks, I'm not going to get angry for a second time. I can't get any more disgusted and angrier than what I am. I'd like to go and batter the pair of these people and knock some sense into them. And I mean batter them verbally and knock some sense into them. That fat orange man baby balloon asking Bibi to let aid in. Away you fucking go, Trump. You can put an end to this. One phone call. Bibi, stop, or I'll draw out and fucking leave you to the. I'll just fucking throw you to the wolves, Bibi, if you don't stop. I'll pull out and let the Arabs have you. That's all he has to say. And this will be finished like that. So that headline, and the one in the eye of the day, particularly, have my dander up. Because we know that these two cunts don't want it stopped. We know what these cunts want. They want the land mass so that they can get our construction companies in there to start making money. And they want the fossil fuels which are in the Gaza basin. And they're willing to sacrifice the Palestinian people in order to get that. And this headline is a nonsense, and the one that I was a nonsense, and it's making me very angry. Very, very angry. And of course, folks, as I shut the book, that tells you we're on that last headline for today. Hi, Kevin. Real superstar in the audience today, folks. We're Kevin, who runs Independence Live. And if you haven't already subscribed to the Independence Live channel, why not? Why not? I want to know why anybody watching this channel isn't subscribed to Independence Live. Kevin, David and I go back a long way. And Kevin's got a fantastic organisation, Independence Live. I'm a moderator on the channel myself, although I'm generally busy and can't do much with it. But Kevin is an absolute star in our movement. An absolute giant. So if you're not subscribed to Independence Live, folks, get onto his YouTube channel, go onto his Facebook page, and get subscribed to both. He puts out fantastic stuff. And if you can give him a donation to keep Independence Live going, first of the independence broadcasters, and probably the best one. There you go, Kevin. Bet you didn't know I held you in such high esteem, dear boy. But I do. You're an inspiration, Kevin. An absolute inspiration. To me, to David, to us all. Oh, super quick chat come in there somewhere. Where is it? That's Heather's one. There's one below that. There it's there. Graham Eason. Where are we? Show. Guardian, a Labour paper. It moved into Scotland just now to help Sarwar in 2026 election. Well, thank you for that information. They haven't changed the way they operate. They've never put a Scottish-centric story up yet. Here we have. Right, Star. The Star. Now, the Star is quite a funny headline of the day, folks, I have to say. It really is. I mean, I feel sorry for the Lionesses, but you'll get to see it in a minute, alright? Let's put up the star. That one, David. Here we go. What's the star go? I love the star one today, folks. The star says, give Serena and Lionesses gongs. Beautiful dame. Right. Now, apparently there's a call for the Lionesses and their manager to be put onto the sex offenders list. You know, what the hell? You win an international tournament and they want to put you on the sex offenders and war criminals register in the UK. Unbelievable. Now, the civil list in the UK reads like the sex offenders fucking register. And the war criminals register. oh dear. Oh, thank God I haven't won any international tournaments. I wouldn't like to be added to that fucking register, that's for sure. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Right, folks, that's it for this morning. Be back again to all tomorrow morning. I'm going to nip down to Motherwell and get that paperwork and then get back and go about the task of getting the money that you've given us this month out the door. If you weren't tuned in to Two Davies yesterday afternoon, I did tell you what the balance of the account was. We got a printout. You'll not be able to read it, so it's a bit small, so I'll tell you what it says. Your generosity, folks, has raised £1,367.90, of which £750 will be going straight out the door as soon as I can find 3 food banks that are independent in the East Lothian area. So if you live in the East Lothian area and you know of an independent food bank, save me some trouble and hit me up with the information, will you? But as I say, I think this one will take up a bit of time, East Lothian, because it's quite an affluent area. Quite an affluent area. But I'm sure we'll find pockets of deprivation with our other food banks. And as I say, next month when we go into the borders, I might well be looking at Berwick upon Tweed because half of it's postcodes in Scotland. You never know. We'll see what turns up. Right. So look after yourselves. And Kevin, I hope you're no blushing, dear boy. And as I say, folks, there's a lot of great YouTubers here in Scotland and a lot of great YouTubers in England. Watch them. Subscribe to them. See what I've got to say. See what I've got to do. I will be asking the councillors, and I'll be going to the council website. Thanks to that councillor that you put me in touch with, I got some really good information on where to get the names of these places and information for you. Yeah, and Larry, you've got a video going up. Should be ready for you lovely people to view it at 11:30. Charlie will be looking forward to it. He's become quite a fan. In fact, before he got up on the table there for his normal position as a co-presenter, he was in his bedroom watching your channel. He's a big fan of the growling cat. That always gets his attention. Right, see you all tomorrow morning. I've got things to do. Bye for now. Look after each other. Hit the like button. Share if you want. And thanks for watching again in massive numbers. 134 years there at the moment.